How are you doing? I'm here with the best dressed man in Kubernetes, Gabe Monroy, and Brendan Burns, distinguished engineer who has the hair to prove it.
That's right.
How's it going?
We're doing good.
Fantastic. So look, there's been a lot of stuff that we've talked about here, and I've literally had a couple of people explain some things to me, but as everyone knows, I'm kind of dense, and if there are other dense people out there, please make sure to get your questions at aka.ms/MS Ignite Live, because otherwise I will hog them. And if we have extra time, we're going to ask how Gabe keeps his shirts so pressed.
It's a trade secret.
Like, I feel like that's harder than Kubernetes.
There's no NDA there.
I feel like we need to get into that. If there's no questions, we might get into that. So let's start off first with Azure Arc. What does that mean, and what implications exist for Kubernetes?
So Arc is an overall set of capabilities that we're adding that extends the Azure management plane to on-premise resources, including virtual machines, physical machines, Kubernetes clusters anywhere, and then enabling Azure data services to land on there as well. So basically, I mean, it comes down to this. When we go out and talk to a lot of our customers, whether they're retailers, banks with a retail bank presence, you know, they talk to us and they love Azure and they love building things in the cloud, but they say, look, the store's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And last I heard, you're not pulling stores into your data center or anything like that. So how are you going to help us there? Right? We're going to be in this hybrid world where we're going to have resources out there, but we want one management plane. We want policy in one place. We want monitoring in one place. We don't want to go to 3 different dashboards because we're in 3 different locations. So Arc is really about effectively giving a resource ID, an Azure identity, to every single one of those resources. So that Kubernetes cluster I showed today actually in my talk, I have a Kubernetes cluster in my basement. That Kubernetes cluster...
Of course you would.
Yeah. I got the picture. I showed it.
Yeah.
All right. But that Kubernetes cluster now has a representation in Azure. And now I can add the OMS agent, and the monitoring information from that cluster in my basement is pumped into Azure. So now I can visualize right next to my AKS cluster, I can also see my basement cluster. Right? Same dashboard, same monitoring, same deployment from GitHub Actions or whatever else. Right? So it's really an ability to say, hey, look, you're going to run Kubernetes in all these places, you're going to run machines in all these places, but you want centralized management. You want one pane of glass. And we're building that pane of glass.
There's so many questions I have about your basement cluster that we'll get into later. But the question that I do have is, in your basement cluster, are you installing something so that it can talk back to Azure? How does that all work? And that's the part where I was a little like...
Yeah, so there's an agent. So you provision a service principal that can talk to Azure.
Okay.
And is tied to just a resource group. Doesn't even need to be a subscription, just a resource group. That agent goes on to the cluster, wherever it is, and it talks back to Azure, and it registers itself, and it also talks to the Kubernetes API, and it sort of acts as a bridge between the Kubernetes API and Azure.
So is it hard to install this? I mean, when you install it, it's basically you say, here's my connection to Azure, service principal. How do you install it? Because I've tried installing things on Kubernetes once. And
so it's literally a Helm chart. So for a Kubernetes cluster, you install a Helm chart, boom, wires up to Azure. But what's really cool is that for some of the first-party hardware offerings we have, like Azure Stack Edge and Azure Stack Hub, we just ship the Arc agents as part of it. So you literally plug it in, power it on, and the thing connects up to Azure, Arc enabled, and you're good to go.
I see. And so what's happening effectively is you're extending the goodness of Azure to on-prem Kubernetes clusters.
And other resources too.
Yeah, and you really like to think of it as what we're trying to do is we're trying to take cloud practices that people have gotten accustomed to around how you manage policy in the cloud and bring those same practices on premises, right? Where usually you'd have to stitch together a bunch of different tools. The environments tend to drift over time. It's hard to collect that stuff. By surfacing it up in the Azure portal, we're able to unify that experience for folks.
I see. Yeah. So you might have some strong practice in the cloud over your clusters, Kubernetes, and among other things, we're going to focus on Kubernetes, and that same practice you can actually push down to your on-premises stuff.
Same config, same policy, all of that, yeah. And as well as like just things like you want to fire security alerts if your Kubernetes version is too old. Well, now you have an API that tells you the Kubernetes version that's running in all of your stores, right? An Azure API, you can set up a logic app or whatever to watch that API, trigger an alert if there's a CVE that says, hey, all these stores are out of compliance. You need to go upgrade them and send, even use the logic app to send the email, right? So
that's awesome.
That's what it's all about.
What about for provisioning stuff? Do you always have to set up your stuff locally and then hook it up, or is there a way to push down setting things up?
Well, so some of the first-party services, like I said, Azure Stack Edge, like the provisioning is automated, right? But in cases where you have hardware that already exists, that's where you install the agent, and that agent is streamlined. It's a Helm chart or something simple, and easy to get up and running.
But the thing is that there's also the ability to link that Arc Kubernetes cluster to a Git repo that would install intrusion detection or vulnerability scanning or monitoring or whatever kind of stuff you want in that cluster. You can combine that with Azure policy so that every cluster you join into Azure automatically is hooked up to that Git repo, automatically loads in all the code, right? So it's a really at-scale gesture where, yeah, you might have to set up the Kubernetes cluster, or if you use Azure Stack Edge, it's just plugging it in. But once it connects to Azure, all of a sudden, all that standard config from a single repo lands down onto that cluster.
You were going to say, Gabe?
No, I was going to say, I showed this actually in part of Jason Zander's keynote demo, where you have all the clusters pointing to just one GitHub repository. One pull request into that repo, and you just deployed an update to 100, 1,000 clusters all in one move.
And that's really cool because there might be a scenario where we have to have the thing locally. You have someone just install Kubernetes, this one Helm chart, and then say, give me the goodness. Yeah. And that's all that happens.
Yeah, and it also separates, a developer might be using GitHub Actions, say, for a weekly release or a daily release. The operator who's sort of maintaining the cluster environment would use this for maintaining the monitoring software, so it sort of separates the developer persona from the operator, the cluster operator, and really simplifies their life for those on-premise environments.
Awesome. Again, if you have any questions, go to aka.ms/MS Ignite Live. We want to get those in there. So speaking of Kubernetes and making it easier,
sure.
I had to do a Kubernetes things once, and I'm not a distributed systems guy.
Okay.
And I had some trouble. And then once I learned about it, I was like, oh, what are we doing on Azure to make it easier to do Kubernetes?
Sure.
Well, yeah. One thing I would say is that we've done a lot of work to streamline the experience around how you get up and running with this stuff. But I do think it's important to note that Kubernetes is really a pretty low-level technology, right? The idea of dealing with containers or YAML files and these manifests that you use to interact with Kubernetes, it's not super approachable. It is super powerful. Yeah. And so I think it's important to recognize whether or not Kubernetes is actually what you need. In fact, one of the ways I first started working with Brendan was I was building PaaS systems on top of Kubernetes back in the days of Deis, because there was a whole idea that we could build developer workflows, Git push-style deployment systems, where Kubernetes was sort of an implementation detail that the developers never had to really get surfaced. So one thing I would say is we can make Kubernetes easier, and we've done a lot of that, but that's really centered around the operations folks who are going to stand up and manage these clusters. For developers, I think in a lot of cases, they're going to be better served by something like app services, functions, or stuff higher up the stack.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing there is those, the challenge of some of those higher level managed services is they've previously been tightly tied to the cloud, right? You can't run Azure Functions not on Azure Functions.
Right.
Except for now you can, right? They have an Azure Functions runtime that runs on Kubernetes. In my basement cluster, I can install that Azure Functions, and I have the same programming experience, the same easy-to-use experience that you do with Azure Functions anywhere, now deploying code to that cluster that's in my basement. And I really agree with Gabe that what's important is those paths had a tendency to be sort of walled gardens. It's great, everything that you have in Functions, fine, but hard to talk to something you have in app services, hard to talk to something that you have in raw IaaS or whatever else. I think what we're seeing with Kubernetes is that it can be sort of a meeting point where all these programming models that make it easier to build applications can come together, but they can use the same service discovery, they can use the same load balancing, they can use the same RBAC to interact in one location. And I think that's why you're seeing the traction around this. We're also doing a lot with tooling, frankly. I mean, I demoed the VS Code extension that we've built that has had hundreds of thousands of people download it.
I've downloaded it.
It's awesome. It straight up is awesome. Shout out, it's an open source project as well, so shout out to everybody who's helped us maintain that. It does simple things like it gives you a tree view of your cluster, so you don't have to learn how to use this command line tool to explore it. It gives you a little red or a green dot if your thing is healthy or not, because we're visual people and it's nice to see that. Right click, I joke, but since birth, we've been trained that right-clicking on something gives you something interesting. We just saw that in the previous one.
Yeah, all millennials are born with a mouse.
All millennials, it's just in the hand or trackpad. Actually, my kids walk up to a laptop without a touch screen now, and they're like, what? What's going on? What's broken? Right?
So post-millennials do not have a mouse.
Yeah, they don't have a mouse. They just touch. Yeah. But you right-click on a container, you can get a terminal. You can port forward. So I think we are doing stuff certainly more in the operations space, but to integrate it with our environments so that it's easier and more approachable. Actually, we have this explain functionality that you can hover over a key in the YAML and it'll tell you what that key does.
Yep. So it's one really cool thing we actually just announced is something called DevSpaces integration. And the DevSpaces integration is cool because what it does is it means that the branch constructs that you're working, like Git branches that you're working on in your IDE, we can actually automatically create a runtime version of those in your Kubernetes cluster, which makes things like end-to-end integration testing easier because when you're rolling out 100 microservices for your app, it's hard to model that stuff on your local environment. And so if we can automatically do that from your IDE all the way rolled into AKS, which is what we've done with DevSpaces, that's really streamlining the development process for folks.
And I think you bring up a good point, right? Because I'm a machine learning guy and everyone's like, hey, I should use machine learning. I'm like, no, that's basically a SQL query disguised as machine learning. There's often times where you just don't need Kubernetes that you mentioned. If you're just putting up something on app service, just use it. But can you give us a sense for when it is appropriate to use it and maybe you should invest the time to learn it?
Yeah, I really think the tipping point for me is when you have services that need to call other services, right? Because if it's just a web app, I got a lot of people come to me and like, I'm doing microservices, and I look closely and it's like, no, that's 2 websites, right? Like, you got to really understand, like, are you entering into the complexity level where something like Kubernetes is actually going to be adding value? And I really do think it's services calling other services is one of those key points where you'll start to understand that Kubernetes is going to be worth the time and the investment.
Yeah, I think the other thing that is really important to me is that when you've thought about some of these PaaS platforms, what you see is that it's kind of a journey over time. And so people, maybe they do have 2 websites when they start, they get to a place, in PaaS sometimes people get stuck, right? And so I think what's important in the platform that we're trying to build is that if you hit that roadblock, it's easy for you to take a container running in app services and migrate it into AKS when it's time, right? So it's sort of on-demand learning. It's like, well, when you have 2 websites, it's great. And then when you have 20, maybe you need to be able to seamlessly move from one environment to the next. Progression is really important.
Yeah, we have a philosophy called no cliffs, right? And so we really want to make sure that when you hit that point that Brendan's talking about, you're not falling down all the way to IaaS, right? And VMs, because that's super painful. So if you can have something like Kubernetes that provides a lot of the same benefits and can get you higher up on the PaaS spectrum, it's going to be a lot easier.
And I love the smell of like when you have services calling other services. That's a good smell for me because then you're entering the complexity of like there's things happening behind the scenes that need to be orchestrated and intelligent.
Yeah, and I think the other thing though that we're seeing, it's also I think a determiner for people is there's just a giant ecosystem there, right? So if you want to run, a TensorFlow or you want to run Kafka, probably shouldn't run Kafka, but let somebody run it for you. But there's an ecosystem around running that stuff on Kubernetes. So sometimes it's actually not necessarily for your code. It's for the fact that you can use an operator that somebody created that's going to do the care and feeding of that Zookeeper cluster so that you don't have to learn about how to run Zookeeper, right? And so that's
and this is where Helm has really exploded, right? Because Helm created this ecosystem of off-the-shelf software where you're literally a Helm install away from, you name it, right? Basically any open source component, including really hard to set up clustered things like Zookeeper that you can just get installed immediately rather than have to do that yourself on VMs.
Yeah. And my first experience with Kubernetes was with Kubeflow, distributed machine learning in clustered environments. And once I got it to work, I thought, holy cow, this is really powerful.
Yeah.
Like just being able to pull down containers and run anything I wanted in a pipelined approach was really cool. It was painful because I had to learn the things, but once I got there, I understood, here's some services calling other services to build.
And I think that's a pattern that we see a lot as well, that an architecture team or a platform team will set up stuff like that and then hand it off. So they'll set up Kubeflow and then hand it off to a data scientist or whatever it happens to be.
Awesome. So we're having our questions come in. Again, if you want questions, it's aka.ms. If you have questions, aka.ms/MS Ignite Live. Are they going to replace Service Fabric Mesh with AKS?
I think those are, speaking of higher level abstractions, Mesh really was trying to provide a higher level application abstraction. AKS is really low level plumbing infrastructure. I think they're really at different places in the stack. So I think that we're going to continue to evolve the developer space. I think there's so many questions. If you sort of think of Kubernetes at the bottom and like Azure Functions at the top, there's a lot of question marks in between.
In between.
Right? And I think the next 5 years, honestly, the Kubernetes API is done. Like it's not going to, I mean, it keeps changing a little, but it's not going to change fundamentally.
I see.
We're going to spend the next 5 years figuring out how we build, I mean, I feel like it's like building an operating system. We have like the low-level scheduling threads and whatnot primitives, and we have some sense of like what the GUI might look like, but there's all of the little modules that you have to build up in a principled way to get up to that higher level. So far, they've all been built as verticals, and they're not reusable, they're not composable, right? So it's going to take a long time, and that's the experimentation part to see what works.
Yeah, and I would say a lot of the folks I talked to who are, have been interested in Service Fabric Mesh have liked the serverless capability of it. The fact that there was less to manage. A lot of work that we're doing to make services that we have, in sort of the container space and in the application PaaS space, more and more serverless over time. So I think that's a trend that you're going to start to see.
Yeah, for sure.
This is awesome. So we only have a minute left, and I want to throw this out. Dapper, is that something that's in the middle that you were talking about?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I think that with Dapper, what we were trying to do is say, hey, look, we see people having problems just like efficiently watching a storage blob, or a set of storage blobs. Right? How do I efficiently and do horizontal? It's like, works great for the first 10 things that I put in there, but now I suddenly need to do a horizontal scale out, or vertical scale out. How do I do that? Dapper's a bunch of sidecars, language agnostic, because people are coming with all sorts of different programming languages, to provide these sort of cloud native patterns in a way that you can consume them like you would consume a library.
That's cool. And does it build on top of Kubernetes, or is it can build on top of anything?
It actually has no tie to Kubernetes at all. What it requires is sidecars to be injected next to your application code. But what's cool about this is that you get a bunch of microservice building blocks to do things like pub sub, state management, actor capabilities that the sidecar provides, and you just have a very light SDK that you import into your code. And that also makes it easy to adopt into existing code, right? Because like today, you'd maybe have to rewrite your app in functions to get some of this to work. But with Dapper, what you can do is take existing Java or .NET code, import this SDK, and light it up with a bunch of these magic capabilities.
Yeah, so I think the way to think about it is taking some of the eventing bindings that you'd see in Logic Apps or Azure Functions and making them available to traditional monolithic apps, or things that are in the process of being updated and modernized. So it doesn't have to be, again, these cliffs. Sometimes the cliff is I have to jump up it.
Got it.
Right, we're trying to make some stair steps along the way.
That's awesome. So Kubernetes is low level. You want to build your own stuff.
Very low level. Assembly language.
Dapper is sidecar for what you already got. And so there's a ton of options. Thanks so much for spending some time with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
It's all right.
Thank you so much for watching. There's a lot of stuff going on, but we aren't done yet. Looking ahead, tomorrow at 5 p.m. is the innovation keynote, Innovating for an Alternative Future. Mitra Azizirad, CVP of Microsoft AI, will lead this amazing keynote. Tune in and see the breakthrough innovations through the eyes of Microsoft's leading edge thinkers. That's this Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. All right, let's go live to a report from the floor with Tom Morgan. What's going on, Tom?